We're on the eve of what is expected to be a major announcement for Alberta's energy sector and potentially the future of this province within the Federation. Or not. CBC News has learned that the Premier and Prime Minister will reveal a deal here in Calgary on Thursday that could pave the way for a new pipeline to BC's North Coast. But sounds like that won't be enough for the anti-Ottawa crowd within the UCP. Political writer Jason Markusoff has been making some calls ahead of this announcement and the UCP AGM, which is this weekend, right?
That's right.
So I know you've been speaking with UCP members. What are they telling you about this expected memorandum of understanding?
They are not impressed. They are like, this is just a piece of paper. This is a memorandum of understanding. We can't talk about this as a victory. We can't even talk about this as a talking point. They are people who want so much more than a pipeline. They resent the fact that there's even been impediments in the first place, that Ottawa hasn't been, bending over backwards to give Alberta what they want. This is a group that is so frustrated, so fed up, and being fed a lot of anti-Ottawa rhetoric from the UCP leadership that they are not going to be satisfied, possibly in the slightest, by whatever Carney gets with Smith.
In fact, the people you've been speaking with sort of unanimously say they want out of, Canada. So do you have a sense of just how many UCP members feel that way?
We know that most Albertans don't want separatism. Yep. We also know from polling that a small majority of UCP voters want to separate or are keen to separate. But the UCP core tends to burn a lot hotter, a lot more hard line in times than the general UCP voters. So even the party president has been saying the UCP voter base could be 2/3 to 3/4 separatist. And so I'm expecting there to be an overwhelming call for separatism from the convention floor. They don't get to vote on it or debate it, but they will be certainly talking about it a lot.
And that's the group that more than any other, Premier Danielle Smith seems to be listening to in recent years. So if not a potential pipeline, and let's set separation aside for now, is there anything that this group could see as a win in terms of our relations with Ottawa?
They want things like equalization changes, more Senate seats, more equity in terms of who gets to be on the Supreme Court, their own pension, their own RCMP. If they can't get separatism, they want something like that. And those, of course, all of the measures that Danielle Smith put on the table with her Alberta Next panel. Now, will she still, having this accord with Ottawa, getting what she wanted with Ottawa, still going to push forward for referendums? Her base, the base that she's meeting in Edmonton at the convention this weekend, is sure going to want those things.
And in fact, part of that group your reporting will show is aiming for a bit of control, even more control on the board, right?
Yeah, they'll be looking to vote for the president and board members, and they'd like, ideally, more pro-independence board members, too.
Something to watch for this weekend. Thanks for that, Jason.